You can keep one more hole here.
né? So good. Hello. Now we will manage our computer. So good morning or good day. Welcome to our Friday talk today. Today we would have a different format and different way of a different meeting. So today we have selected a different topic. So today we would have a practical talk, and instead of a guest, we will take a Clack CI valve apart. Hello, Marina. Also, we have changed a little bit our politics of microphones and cameras. So now we make we make available for everyone to switch on cameras and then switch on microphones. So basically, you can interrupt me if you want. So I would appreciate if you would interrupt for a question. But anyway, you can actually join our talk. Not just by writing in the chat, but also you can communicate with us. And so let's check how many we are today. So we are 15 people today. I would suggest maybe waiting. We will start slowly so that everyone could join us. So we will talk today on how to not even talk, but I will show how to deassemble the Clack valve. So we'll start with the unboxing. So this is the box that comes from Ecosoft. Inside the box there is a Clack valve and other accessories. So I'll start with unboxing. What is important to mention that on the box you have a sticker. An important thing on the sticker that you see here, you see on the sticker, maybe you don't see it on the screen, but you could see it when you have it in your hands. So you could see the type of the valve, but what is more important, you can find what is the type, what is the size of the pressure vessel this valve is made for.
Rosti, move a little bit to the right because we do not see the sticker. We just see the box.
Okay. Let's try it again. So what about now?
Yeah, now is good.
So you see the sticker and you see what is this valve. Actually, it's not just a valve, it's a set of equipment, a set of parts is designed for. And important to mention that here on the box, it says that this particular box and this particular set of equipment is designed for 12 by 52 softening or eco-mix unit. And when you have it on stock, you can easily select required equipment to build a system. So when you open, then we will open, I will move a little bit my camera. So when you open the box, so inside you would see a valve, and also you would find there a funnel. You can see it. Oops, I will do it. So this is the valve. It's already labeled. Also, there is a QR code with the programming manual on the valve, so it's very easy to download or even to check it on site. What is the how to program it? Then the top basket, the reinforced top basket, is already installed on the valve. So we always advise to check if the top basket is properly fixed. So in this case, it is okay. And then you can screw it or you can mount it on the tank. So today I have a small tank here. So I will screw, you don't see it, but I will then move my camera. So I will put And now I put the valve, mount the valve on the tank. Let's go back to the box. And then in the box you have the transformer. We will come back to it in the end of our talk. And then we have elbow connection kit, 1 inch. Then you have a funnel for easy load of the media. And you have a warranty. Remove the box. Also, to make the valve apart, I will use a Clack wrench. So it's a fancy tool that have a few active areas. I will show this all how we recommend and how Clack is recommending to use this wrench to take the valve apart. And also there is another tool that is called spacer stuck wrench. This should be used. It looks like a tool for wine bottle, but it's not. So it is. I will explain how to use it in which cases. So Oksana, can you see the valve now? Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay, but if possible, a little bit more to the right.
To the right is this direction?
Yes, yes, yeah. Now it's perfect.
So let's start with the valve. So first of all, if you see the label, EcoSoft label, if you see the sticker, it means that the valve is already pre-assembled. So it means that it has the installed the drain line flow control. It has already installed injector inside for 12 by 52 tank. So it's not just a valve from the shell, but it's already pre-assembled part. So first, every service engineer would require to take the cover and to take the PC board apart in order to connect the transformer. So every service engineer would need to do few steps. So first, when you start the assembling, you should remove the cover. Also here in this cover, you would find a sticker with the same information what you have on the box. So your service engineer could double check if it's the right one. Also, it means that we as EcoSoft has checked the appearance of the valve and its right supply, so that the screen is not damaged, the buttons are okay. So it is additional quality check that we do in order to ensure that we deliver you the right valve and the proper valve. Then the first step, you have to remove the PC board. So this is very important for all the service engineers to know that before doing any manipulation with inside, first step is always removal of the PC board in order not to damage it during the other steps. To remove the PC board, you have to lift this fixer up and to pull the board. So it's very easy. Yeah, then you unplug the wires. Then you have it in your hands. I will briefly explain what we have here, because this is a topic to explain in details. It's a separate topic, but here we have the wire connection, the buttons, the display, then we have the battery to keep time going during 72 hours of electricity shutdown. And then what is important to mention that on the back, we have the light emitter and light detector. I will go back a little later to what it is for. So the second step, when you have it in your hands, you can use the cover as the case. So put it here and put it far away from the water and put it far away from the other tools, not to break the PC board. Then you have access to the PC board drive bracket. Then you may see the motor, and the first step to deassemble the bracket. You can deassemble it right away, or you could remove the motor. So there is a metal spring. So just push the metal spring, rotate a little bit the engine, the motor. So this is the motor, the one that comes from the Mercedes car, and put it. And then you have the bracket. You have two fixers on the top. So to remove the bracket, just lift the stickers, pull a little bit the bracket, and then you will have it in your hands. Then remove the wires. So this is the bracket, the front, the back. So here on the back, I will come back later to it, to the gear part. So till this part, till this step, every technician should do these steps in order to connect the transformer. So on the back, this is the transformer. On the back of the back plate, there are special holes that are designed to put the wires inside. If you don't have enough space to put the wires inside, so in some cases you will need to add more wires, you can kick off another hole here. It is pre-designed to be kicked off by the screwdriver and a small hammer. So let's continue. So then we have an access to the drive cap IC, and inside we will see the piston. So to unscrew it, you need a wrench. You need this larger part. So you put it in this small holes, and then you need some power to do this. So you do like first small turns, and then you could unscrew it with your hand. So now we have access. Now we have access to the piston. So the piston consists of two parts. The gold one is the one for the softening units and eco mix units, and also for filters, so for activated carbon filter. The black one is only for units that are generated with salt. So when you will deassemble the filter version of the Clack valve, you would not see the black piston. Then you could also deassemble it, so it's quite easy to deassemble, and it's quite hard to break something because all the parts are very robust. Then you can screw a little bit the big gear, and then you could deassemble the golden part. So this part, from time to time, it has to be cleaned once a year, maybe once in 2 years, but never scratch it with knife or never scratch it with other metal tools to remove the sediments, because it would leak water and the valve would not function in the right way. Then you have access to the spacer. So now the spacer is brand new, and I can easily remove it with the hand. But when the water has a lot of iron and when the water has a lot of sediments, it may stuck, it may be full of sediments, full of sand. Then it's impossible to move it with your hand. So in this case, you need to use a spacer stuck tool. What you do, you just put it inside, then push it downwards, and then remove it. So this is the way how you could remove it when the filter is treating very hard water. So this is the spacer. A typical service life of a spacer is 3+ years. It consists of internal O-rings and external O-rings. In practice, these internal O-rings might be damaged. So when you remove it, you should inspect with your eyes if these O-rings are okay. In some cases, you may see when the filter is in operation, you may see the leakage of water to drain. It means that one of these O-rings that are inside are broken, or you may see the leakage to the brine tank. It means that this small O-ring is broken. So when you observe or when you have a call from your dealer or your plumber asking why the water is always leaking to drain or leaking to the brine tank, it means that you have to supply him a spacer stock before he goes to this site. It's completely replaceable, so you cannot repair it. So if it's broken, you just repair the whole thing. So now the internal part is completely deassembled. So during the maintenance, you may clean this internal part with weak solution of acid or just with warm water, and it's enough to make it clean. Now we go to the back part of the system. So here I would like to draw your attention that here we have actually 4 main parts. So we have the drain connection, we have the brine connection, we have the injector part, and also we have the meter. So a big advantage of the Clack valve that connections are 360 degrees rotating. Rotating and not leaking. This is important. The same as brine connection. So it's very convenient when you do the connection, when you do the plumbing installation, it's very convenient that they are rotating. So to deassemble, let's start with the brine. So just take out this pin, and then you could easily pull it upwards, and you have the brine elbow in your hand. The brine elbow has the speed fit connection for the brine tube. Very convenient during the service. Inside, there is a brine line flow control. So the abbreviation is BLFC. So BLFC is designed to supply a constant flow of water to the brine tank. Constant water means 1.9 liters per minute is delivered to brine tank during the fill sequence of the brine. During the regeneration. In practice, this part is sometimes need to be cleaned just with water. You may see some crystals of salt here, so clean it with water and then put it back. And then we have a drain line flow control, a drain connection, also easy to remove the same way. So it has the 3/4 thread. Also, it can be supplied with 1-inch thread for larger applications. So here also you have the drain line flow control, DLFC, responsible for flow rate during the backwash. Also, you can this part need to be cleaned. So we can remove the white DLFC holder, clean it with water. Also, you can sometimes you have to remove the drain line flow control itself. So you can do it with this pin, like this. So this is the drain line flow control. There is a small secret how to put it back. I will explain when we will assemble the valve. Then we have the meter. Then we can use this part of the tool to unscrew it. So you unscrew the nut. And then you will require a coin. So in this case, it's 1 hryvnia with Volodymyr the Great. And you can use a coin to detach the meter. So this is the turbine meter. So you may see how easy it is to rotate it. So when it's white and clean, it means that the filter is operating properly. When it's blocked with iron or blocked with sediments, it means that your filter is misoperating. If you need to clean it, you can put it as a complete part, not the connector, in the bucket with water or with acid solution. Just soak it for some time, and then it will be easily cleaned. Not necessarily to use a brush to clean the turbine. Maybe we have some questions at this time. If yes, please let us know. Then I will rotate the valve and we will see what is inside the injector part. So now we will use the back part of the wrench to unscrew it. So you do a few rotations with the wrench and then you use your hand. So this is the cap of the injector part. It has a small sediment filter to protect the injector. So this is 300 micron sediment filter. You have always to check it and clean it. It's very easy to put it back. Normally, a customer should never assemble and deassemble the valve, because actually if the customer do it, I think he will do it only once, because he will never put it together. But a dealer or a plumber should do the maintenance at least once a year. In some cases, you can do it rarely, like once in 2 years, once in 3 years. It depends on the water. Also, it depends on your service policy. So inside the injector part, I think you may see it. So you see two components, a blue one and a gray one. So a blue one is an injector, and the gray one is a plug. So never use screwdriver, never use pliers to remove the injector. So you can use the cup, the injector cup, to remove the injector. Just lift it up like this, and you will have injector apart. So this is the injector. This is a blue injector designed for 12 by 52 Ecomix or softening tank. When you remove it, check if this space is empty and this hole or capillary that is inside is clean. The injector can be cleaned with water or with acid solution. Then you can also remove the plug. It's not necessarily, but you can do it. So now we have only the valve body remained. Also, pay attention of your service technician that there are two arrows, inlet and outlet. It is important to follow this when you do the piping. So we finished we have finished the decomposition of the valve. So as you may see, there are no screws, there are no small items, so only 28 parts to be taken apart, and it's very easy to pull it back. So now we can take a chance to ask questions if there are any. Let's see, are there any questions in chat? I can. So we have one question that I have already answered. Do we have more? It would be nice if everyone could tell what kind of valve have you ever deassembled. Okay, what is the function of a plug? So the function of a plug is to cut a not needed hole. So inside, I think you may see it. So inside the injector part, there are two holes. One is marked as up and another one is marked as DN. So up stands for upflow and DN means for downflow. So when you purchase the valve from us, you have to order or upflow valve or downflow valve. They are different in the valve body. And when you buy but during production, this top part of the valve is universal for both upflow and downflow valves. So when you have the downflow valve, make sure that the injector is installed in the DN hole and the plug is installed in the up hole. So if you have the upflow valve, then you make it opposite. If it would be nice if everyone who are listening to us can write what kind of valve have you ever assembled, reassembled, or use. It would be nice to know. Also, while we are writing, I have a question. It's already our fourth Friday talk. It would be nice for us to know if the time that we have suggested is convenient for you. So we do it at 11 a.m. Central European time. So if you have any other suggestions for you or maybe for your colleagues, or the time is okay, it would be nice to know for us what time works good for you. Oh, nice. Fleck, ranking coppers. Have you ever take them apart by yourself, John? If yes, you can share you can compare how it looks like assembling and reassembling in comparison to the Clack valve. So then, if no questions, we will come back to assembling the valve.
Rosti, I
Yes.
apologize. I have the questions.
Oh, please.
Not the question, but the clarification. The first one, you mentioned that we can use the acid liquid. What is the percentage of this acid we could use for cleaning the spare parts?
It could be the percentage is less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
You can use actually the citric acid.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use the acid that dealers are using to clean the membranes,
Mm-hmm.
the acid solution, but normally it's 1% or less.
Okay, thank you so much. The second question is about the meter. You told that we need to pay attention that if this meter is dirty, that means the valve works not properly. What can cause these problems with the meter? What we should pay attention to?
For example, you have iron in the water, and when you do the maintenance, always pay attention if the meter is yellow or white. So if it's yellow, it means that very often you have a leakage of iron after the filter. So this is important to understand that you have when you are not you as a dealer are not on site, but the customer gets the water with iron. So first, what you have to check the water quality before the filter and check if the valve and if the PC board is programmed correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So when you will finish the assembling of the valve, you should go to the history of the valve, to the history of the PC board and see what is the flow rate, what was the maximum flow rate through the filter. So maybe the filter is designed for 2 cubes an hour flow rate, but in the history you will see that the water consumption is 2.5 or 3 cubes an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And because you exceed the flow rate, you have the leakage of iron.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are the cases, possible cases, not all of them, but possible cases. But important to mention that if the meter is yellow, you have to find the reason for it. Don't leave the site until you will find the reason, because if you don't find the reason, you will leave it, and then a customer will call you again, asking why there is still iron in my water.
Okay, and the last question is about these hose upflow and downflow. So if just to switch the plug and injector, to put the injector to the upflow, would it make the valve upflow or not? Or this is like the something specific in the construction of the body?
If you will just change the position of the injector and the plug, nothing will be changed. So to move from downflow to upflow, you have to select the right body.
Okay. Thank you.
So John, thank you for your answers. So with scuppers, the way to control is very different. What do you prefer? Which way to control the flow do you like more? Clack, flag, Rankine, or cuppers? And why? If we have this already in the dialogue, it's nice. So let's start to assemble it back. So let's put the meter back. Also important to mention that you don't need any tools to assemble the valve back. There is only one step, I will point it out, which will require a range, but all other steps can be done manually. Hello, Stergios. So answering your question, so you have 2 ways. So you have the screw to change the hardness can be located in 2 areas. So this is the first area I think you may see. So now it's empty place, but if you order a valve with the mixing valve, with integrated mixing valve, you will have this screw here. So this is one way. But if you want to change the hardness on the valve that is already on site, you have another option. I will show it to you, just a moment. So this is a separate external mixing valve. You can order it as a spare part, and it can be easily installed on the valve. Also, there is an arrow here, an arrow here. So you put it, I guess now you may see it. So you put it so you connect it to the outlet, and then here you have the screw to regulate the hardness. So we stopped on the assembling. We put the meter back. Then you have a wire. I remind you that there are special holes on the back. So you put the wire, and then here in this inside the back plate, there are fixers to keep the wire in place. So even if somebody will hang, so you will remove. I haven't put the nut, so you will remove the So, but the wire will be in place. So this is important to put it in this channel. Then you have the nut. Tighten it only with hand. So no need to Then you have the brine line. Actually, you can do a mistake and put it in the drain line, but I think it's impossible. Maybe Vitaly will correct me. So you just put the drain line, the brine elbow back, and put a fixer here. Then you have the drain line. When you look at the drain line flow control, this rubber O-ring with a hole inside. So I think that you may see now that there are 2 digits on it. So on one surface you have digits. Oksana, can you see the digits? On other surface there are no digits. So when you put this O-ring to the drain line flow, to the drain line flow holder, you have to see the digits. So it is possible to install it in a wrong way, but if you see the digit, then it means that you install it in the right way. Also, I don't know if you see it, you have here 2 numbers. You have 042 and you have 25. So 25 is just a batch number. Don't pay attention to it. It's on the bottom, but on the top you have 042. 042 means that it has a certain flow rate equal to 4.2 gallons per minute. And it is this particular one should be applied for the softeners and EcoMix units within 12 by 52 tank. So put the O-ring in, put this white holder inside the drain elbow, and install the drain elbow back. Then, thanks to questions from John, we have already put back the injector and put back the plug. So now we can tighten the cap with your hand only. So when it stops, it means that it's tightened. Then you put back the spacer. So either you put a new one or you clean it, check the O-rings, and just push it till the end. So there is no special way how to put it, just put it inside. And then you have the drive SC, the drive passive SC for piston. You put back the gold one, and then put back the black one. So when the motor rotates and this white gear, when the motor rotates the white gear, so we have the rotation converted to backwards and frontwards. So you see how the piston is moving inside, backwards and towards. So it does not really matter how you would put the piston. To be safe, it's better before you install it inside, it's better to make it till the end, because it's more safe for the technician not to break it. And you install it, and then you do several turns with your hand. So this is the only part when you will need a wrench to tighten it. So you tighten it until it stops. You will feel when it stops. So don't do any extra efforts. So when it stops, it means that you are done. Then this step, you have to connect, you should connect the transformer. So you connect it from the back. Make sure you have enough length, like 15 centimeters. And then you also hold it in the channel. So even if somebody would pull it, it will be fixed properly. And then you have enough length to. Then you have a back plate. Not a back plate, a drive bracket. Sorry, a drive bracket. And now I will show what is on the back of this drive bracket. So this here you have 3 gears. So this is the reducer. You can unplug it. So here you would have, you will see 3 small gears that pass the force from the motor to the big gear. And then on every gear, you have aluminum foil. When you rotate it, this aluminum foil provides reflection to the PC board. So the PC board, as you remember, I have shown, has the light source and the light detector. So when the motor is rotating the gears, the PC board knows how many rotation was made and stops the piston in the right position. So when these foils are damaged, or I don't know, for some reason you don't have foils, the valve would not operate. If the foil, so the foil is important only on the top gear. So even if the foil on the top gear is damaged, you can easily replace, because they are all the same, and then put it back on the drive bracket. A little bit tricky on how to put it, but I believe you will manage it. So for me, it's easy because I did some trainings before for myself. So then you install a drive bracket back. It is very easy. So when you install it back, you have to hear this sound, like click sound, like this. So if you hear this sound, it means that everything is good and you have the right connection of small gears with large gear. Sometimes you don't put the wires properly in the channel, and this wire is blocking the drive bracket. So in this case, you would not hear this click sound. You will finish assembly, and then the valve and the PC board actually will show you the error in operation. Then you will have to go back and check again. Then put back the PC board. The PC board has, I forgot the meter, the motor. So this is the motor. Also, it has a, you can see, you would not see it on the screen, but it has a small pin inside. And here on the engine housings, you have these oval holes. So make sure the oval holes match this pin here. So you could do a few rotations. So make sure it does not go back. So a little bit tricky. If you cannot do it, just do it once again. So now if you cannot pull it back with a slight effort, it means that you install it properly. Then put the PC board back, connect the motor, connect the meter, and also connect the power supply. And finally, the cover. So now we have finished with the assembling. So now we have time for your questions, discussions. Yes, please. You can raise your hand or you can just switch on your microphone. Can you shortly recap? So the second way of mixing, I believe you ask about this external mixing part, if I'm right. So this is a separate part that we normally have on stock. And you can install it on already existing valve, already installed valve. So just attach it on the outlet. Follow the arrows. We have arrows here. And then you could regulate the mixing by this screw. The maximum flow rate for mixing is around 1 cube an hour. So you can mix really a lot of water when you rotate the screw. So 1 cube an hour is the maximum. Flow rate through this mixing valve, through this mixing channel, not the valve, but through the mixing channel. Did I answer your question? Are there any more questions? So next time we have a suggestion to talk on the programming of the valve, but you may also suggest what topics are of your interest. So if you have any other suggestions, we will also next time or any other time we'll follow them so that these meetings are more useful for your everyday routine. So then if no, then we will finish this. We will finish our meeting for today. So if you have any questions, I think now you will see my short email. You can write an email directly to me, or you can write an email to your sales representative at Ecosoft. And yeah, have a good weekends. I don't know if you have more questions. So thank you for participation. Thank you for questions. Stergios, John, thank you for your active participation. And see you next Friday. Have a nice weekend. Yes, recordings of the sessions you may see on our YouTube channel. We will send you, if you will write your email here, you can either go to the YouTube channel or you can write your email. We will send you the link. But I think within a week or 2 weeks, you will find, hello, you will find, you can enable your microphone and then we will hear you if you want. Somebody...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, hello. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Nice. I'm sorry I late. Yeah. How could I have the recording video?
You can have it. You can have it on our website.
Ah,
so we will. So then you go to ecosoft.com, and then
okay.
you go. There is a live Friday live talks, and there you will find next week. You will find the links to this particular recording, and also you will find the links to recording of the previous sessions.
Perfect. Thank you. So every Friday you will have we can have a live meeting.
Every Friday we meet to talk on a practical topic. So before we talked on the domestic RO filters, then we talked on the advanced softeners. So today and the last time we talked on the Clack valves. So if you are interested,
I'm interested in Clack valves.
So the next time,
especially in twin.
In tooling. So the Clack valve is a very nice piece of equipment for the service engineers because it can be easily. So you can I think next time we will talk on the programming, but also we can cover the technical questions and troubleshooting.
Nice.
Thank you for your feedbacks.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone, and see you next Friday.
See you. Have a nice day and Saturday.
See you.
See you. Bye.